What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. I want to focus in on Tyler Seguin's four-goal game. And someone actually asked me, one of my friends texted me, if the Bruins have buyer's remorse right now. No. Obviously, they knew when you take a risk in a trade, you know there's a risk that it could work out for the other side. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. The Bruins are playing very good hockey right now. They're playing well. I mean, they're ahead of Dallas in the standings significantly. So there's that. We everyone knew how good Seguin's offensive abilities were, but the Bruins didn't have time to sit around and wait for him to turn into that because, quite frankly, it was his off the ice antics that got him shipped out of Boston. That definitely hurt his play on the ice. I mean, when you need a guard outside your hotel room in Toronto during the Stanley Cup playoffs because you have a drinking problem, there's an issue. And, unfortunately, Tyler Seguin was like Vinny Chase and Entourage. He had all his boys down from Toronto, and apparently they're all living with him in Dallas now, too. And, to track away from his amazing on the ice abilities. He's a nice kid. I've said that. A good tipper. Definitely takes care of his valets. But, there isn't, there wasn't a spot for that kind of behavior on the Bruins. And if you watch the Inside the Bruins thing they did, Neely talked about, there's a way we want our guys to play in this organization, and he hasn't played that way. I'm not saying everyone has to be Milan Lucic or Sean Thornton, but, there definitely has to be accountability. And the shipping him out of town was just that, and I think he'll put up great numbers, but can he be the best player on a Stanley Cup championship team? And I say no. I think he'll have many top 5, top 10 finishes in the NHL scoring race. Maybe win a scoring title. Like a former top 2 draft pick, wearing number 19 for the Boston Bruins. But you look at the success he'll have come playoff time. He didn't show up in the finals. I mean, he had 3 goals all postseason long. For a guy with that kind of offensive ability. There isn't the heart of a lion in him. And, I know he saved our ass against Tampa 2 years ago, but, there has to be more from a guy with all that skill. And I don't think Dallas will make the playoffs this year. I think he'll have 85, 90 points, have a really, really good year, but I don't see him on the Canadian Olympic team. I don't see him, I don't see Dallas in the playoffs. I don't think he has that in him. And, I think he's going to be a great player that you look back on it. He'll have a cup ring because he has a cup ring. You can't take that away from him. But, I think unless he smartens up and matures, it's all going to be potential with him. And that's, as they say, potential is a fancy French word for hasn't done shit. And I'm trying to think what Dallas is in the standings. I mean, they're not playing well at all. I mean, they had a big one last night against Calgary. But, they're not playing too bad. They're 3 points behind the Bruins. I know they're in different conferences and everything. I just wanted to see where they met up with each other. But it's in moving Seguin allowed them to move Peverly, which allowed them to get Iginla. And you look at their right wings now between Iginla, Erickson, and Riley Smith. I think it's depending upon what the lines look like on any given night. I like those 3 guys on the right side. And like I said, I love Seguin's game. He's a good player and a nice kid, but I don't think he has the heart of a lion in him to be a fixture on a Stanley Cup championship team. And, that's just the nature of the beast. And you can agree with me or disagree with me or, call the Bruins out, but, you can't have patience for stuff like that. It's one thing if a guy's taking his time to develop as a player. That's just, that's how it goes hockey-wise. But when his off-the-ice antics are taken away from his on-the-ice abilities, you got to fish or cut bait. And, maybe they cut bait too soon, but realistically, had he had another subpar year, there's no way they could have moved that $6 million cap hit. There's no way in hell. So, Dallas made a good move, the Bruins made a good move, and we'll see what happens at the end of the season. But, like I said, I like him as a player, but he doesn't have the it factor, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, that's the big thing between him and Taylor Hall. I watched Hall play last week. Taylor Hall wants it. He is a player. He wants to be in on the forecheck. He wants to back check. He has what it takes. I know the Oilers suck, but he could be the best player on the Stanley Cup championship team. He has the leadership abilities. Seguin doesn't, and it's disappointing. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's on this episode of the Power Play with CJ on possible buyer's remorse seller's remorse on the Bruins and the Tyler Seguin trade. Stay tuned for more episodes for the season and beyond. Later, guys.